And we're back at the Oval. A very wet Oval. There's the hooter. Not really a siren. And away we go. In the Foster's Cup, Carlton against Hawthorn. Umpire Cameron bounces it down. Wayne Johnston crashes into the pack, and immediately there's a free kick plucked out. And it will be taken by Hall of Hawthorn. He kicks towards half forward. Brereton tries to knock it on. Hannah in front. Was he pushed in the back? He was held without it. He'll take the free kick. Millen Hannah out towards right half back. Eastern end of the ground, the Vauxhall end. A famous name there. Kicking towards half forward. Madden was up through his hands. There you see the condition of the Oval. Collins back towards midfield. Tumbling attempt. No mark. Still Hawthorn over the ball. Hall, good hand pass out wide. Dixon, the 50-metre line. Interesting hand pass. McKinnon, he was pushed off it. They scramble it forward to Carlton that time. Kennedy to Johnston. White over the top with a hand pass. He was taken high. He'll get the free kick. A lot of new names in this Carlton side this afternoon. Great opportunity for them, Don.
Yes, and a lot of Carlton youngsters getting the opportunity because a lot of players just could not make the trip across here, and they'll be very intent in trying to impress. The free kick going Blackwell's way for Carlton on centre wing. This ground a little bit tricky in as much as very hard underneath. With the rain last night, the ball very, very slippery.
Long kick into the forward line. It's off hands. Platten spills wide. Langford, hurried kick. It comes out and is taken by Dia. Dia feeds it inside. It's taken by Schwab. Schwab at centre half back. Spears the ball across field. Pritchard, clever hand pass to Kennedy. Kennedy goes down towards half forward. Lunging attempt at the mark down there is paid. That's Abbott, the star of the grand final, or one of them, to the run of Kennedy. Long towards the goal square. Brereton surely interfered with. No free kick. Picked up by Hannah. Hannah drives it back towards the wing. Up was Madden. Ball running free behind the pack. It's socket off the ground across the boundary line in effect by Big Dia, and will be thrown in.
And Dermot Brereton not looking too good after trying to attempt to kick that ball off the ground. He's limping back towards centre half forward. Madden, Abbott over the back. Hall, well read, goes goal with the tackle. The ball going towards Hannah and Brereton, and the ball will be over the boundary line to be thrown in deep in Hawthorn's left forward pocket. The flanks here very, very wide, and as Hawthorn are endeavouring to do, go straight down the centre. Abbott, Madden in front. Carlton little fellows rove the pack well, bring it out. McGuinness, Blackwell, quick handball. Buckenara, back to McGuinness. McGuinness going centre again to a crowd of players. Hall under duress. Gleeson quickly out towards Gallagher over his head. Collins, back pocket, named in the back pocket, starting up a run across to Deere. Now Deere will endeavour and does, goes to the wide outer spaces. Brereton behind, can't take it. No, the umpire call a play on as Carlton clear from the half-back line. A good kick towards Kernahan, spilt. And mopping up well there, Collins.
Certainly is a big oval, this one. Plenty of space. This is Pritchard from the Collins kick on the outer side. In front of the Foster's scoreboard. There's plenty of Fosters around in more ways than one. Socket off the ground by Buckenara, and the mark is taken by DeRuy. Steve DeRuy, midway between centre half-back and left half-back. Short pass comes in. McKinnon takes the mark on his chest. McKinnon told to play on towards half forward with a kick. Rippia Domenico takes a slide like a base runner. Going into second, he started his slide about 20 metres shy of the ball. Rippia Domenico, interesting kick across the oval. Picked up by Hall, well, almost. 2-on-1 situation. This is McGuinness from half-back, back towards centre wing. It's a high floating kick. Hannah knocking away there for Carlton. Taken by Langford. Back towards the centre wing area, and the tumbling mark is taken there by Abbott. Here's Abbott of Hawthorn then, towards centre half forward with a kick. Carlton have got the numbers. Loveridge going in strongly, the acting skipper today. Dixon, the hand pass out wide to Buckenara. Here's an opportunity. Buckenara pulls it back towards the pocket. Nothing much coming of it for Hawthorn. Looked an opportunity momentarily. There's a scramble, and we'll have a ball up.
And that ball doesn't look too easy to handle. You saw Buckenara go to goal with that kick, whether he stubbed his foot, but the player's not kicking this ball any great distance. Madden using his great height, exceptional ruckman. Players swooping on and hunting into packs. As a quick kick comes from Morrissey. Goalwood, is that the first score? It is. To the right of the Majors, a point to the Hawthorn. They're the first to score, and Jamie Morrissey, the kicker.
There's Morrissey out of the congestion. Found some space in there, actually. But missed by a wide margin. On the scoreboard now. It's a behind-the-nose score. And the ball is out towards right half forward for Hawthorn. They battle after it out there. Morrissey carried the ball across the boundary line. Real shame this. The crowd is disappointing, certainly. Although they sold many tickets, quite a few no-shows. But stick quite there. One down by Madden. He's going to get the free kick. Clatton running away with the ball. He comes back to the big fellow. Contrast in sizes there. Obviously, a lot of expatriates at this ground this afternoon. Kick to centre wing. Gowers knocking away through the legs of McKinnon. Scrambled out of the congestion by Phillips. Crossed the ground. Johnston, well shepherded by Herman. Now he's in trouble. Herman picks it up. Slips as he kicks back towards half forward. And luckily, he finds a teammate. That's McKinnon.
McKinnon nearly off then. They looked for options, but they weren't on. Now goes Goldwood looking for Blackwell. A quick nudge out by Blackwell, and the umpire, Shane Harris, in the best position to give it to Di Domenico, who plays on very quickly out towards the members' wing. Drury over the top of the ball, looking for and getting. Yes, he's been paid the free kick against Hall. Plays on quickly. Again, not a good kick. These conditions not easy to play on. The ground very hard underneath. The ball slipping across to Buckenara. Now Hawthorn endeavour to set up a run. Back to Blackwell. A quick one from Phillips in towards centre half forward, and all unattended.
Brown.
Here's Fraser Brown. Fraser Brown, 50 metres from goal, goes short towards Johnson, but over his head. But Gleeson will be first onto it, deep in the left pocket. Goes goalward, only to find Di Domenico, who has taken a relieving mark. Now Di Domenico looking for options further down the ground, none forthcoming, so he goes towards the near wing. And Buckenara, a good mark considering the circumstances. Towards the centre. Over Hall's head, running onto the ball well is Kennedy, who was playing well off that half-back flank. Well tackled by Garvey. Back to Platten in the centre on the cricket pitch. Brereton and Hannah. That is the third time Hannah has got in front, brought the ball to ground. Playing well, Millham Hannah. He goes long towards the full forward position, Kernahan. But going back well was Gowers. A lot of courage. Mopped up again by Collins. Playing well in the back pocket. Di Domenico also featuring. Gowers, centre half back, good turn. And goes out towards the centre wing, only to find Tony Hall.
Tony Hall on centre wing then. 15 votes in the Brownlow. Rookie year, an outstanding performance. Big mark is taken on the forward line. Momentarily they controlled the ball, and Dunstall, or rather Pritchard, gave it away. Kennedy left it behind. Umpire Cameron moves in, officiating today with Shane Harris. He'll bounce it. Madden's in front. Abbott came over the top. McKinnon an opportunity. Socket away from him. Picked up by Morrissey. Snapshot. Well wide of the mark, as you can see, out of bounds on the full. Steve DeRue will take the resultant free kick. DeRue decides to go across the ground. Dunlop in the opposite pocket. Long towards centre wing. Plenty of territory out there. This is Collins, held without it surely. And he'll get the free kick. Collins, who played so well in the grand final in the premiership team, goes in short. Kennedy has it now. Kennedy from right half forward towards the pocket yet again. Deeper. Dunstall offering a lead up the middle. It was ignored. Brereton takes the mark just inside the boundary line. Dermot Brereton kicking from just inside 50. Long kick. Morrissey over the top. Good juggled mark by Morrissey. Brought it in at the third attempt. Morrissey wants to play on, but the umpire insisting he come back. There it is again. Well, perhaps Madden had a fist in there, but gee, that was good work by Morrissey. Plenty of surface water. It's in amongst that now. Plays on. Opens up the angle. Slides it right across the face. It's out of bounds on the full. in the opposite pocket. It seems to me, Don, some of these players having trouble just getting their bearings on a strange ground because it is an odd shape, isn't it?
Well, the Hawthorn would not be used to the ground, but Carlton, as we know, have played here 3 times, and it is an irregular shape of ground. It's not the true football oval as such. There are 1 or 2 corners, and getting lost a little bit deep when they go out to that outer wing. Carlton, through Tom Elvin, will relieve the pressure, and he endeavours and does go straight down, looking for Madden. Over the top, Deer, ball to ground. Carlton players running onto it was Kennedy. Quickly picked up by Hawthorn. Back into the congestion. Dermot Brereton over the top, but Elvin quickly onto that ball, and it hits that brick wall. Hall picks up. Now they set up the play through Buckenara and does the right thing and goes goalward. Is this the first? It is, and Gary Buckenara. So Hawthorn have kicked the first major, and that is 1-7. Carlton yet to score as we see Buckenara, the long kick, some 60 metres, a magnificent kick under the circumstances.
So Hawthorn have dominated this game in terms of their attacking. They've had the ball in their half for the better part of the game. They're back in the middle now. Johnston awarded a free kick, Carlton. Wayne Johnston alongside the centre circle. Side trailing by 7 points. Good to see him back and playing after that injury against this side in the second semi-final. Ribs. Schwab was up to take the defensive mark, operating out of a back pocket. Comes across the ground. The mark is taken here by Buckenara. Buckenara goes long through the centre towards half forward. Brereton getting away from his marker, Hannah, who's done a very good job so far. Takes the mark on his chest.
Dunlop very lucky there not to incur a 50-metre penalty because he kicked the ball away, trying to waste time, but the umpire a little bit lenient on that occasion.
Let's see what Brereton can do from here. He'll be kicking from about 55, 60 metres out. Thinks he can go close. It falls in short, and the mark is taken by Morrissey. What a courageous mark that was, running in with the flight of the ball, and hasn't he improved on?
Yes, well, they do refer to Jamie as the freak, and we saw that freakish mark he took before, and in also the grand final, a terrific hit on. Set it up for a goal as Morrissey just stuttering in his run-up and decided not to attempt that kick. Getting away from Garvey on that occasion, only 20 metres out from goal, slight angle, shouldn't be a worry. As soon as you say that, they always let you down, and it drifts to right of the goal for another point. Jamie Morrissey's second point. Hawthorn 1 goal, 8 points, leading Carlton yet to score.
The kick in then. John Platten goes up and takes a very good mark on his chest. John Platten alongside the centre circle. Goes towards half forward. Carlton have got the numbers. Dunstall was the leaper. Offhands it falls to Loveridge. He's in trouble, confronted by Alvin. And the umpire will move in and ball it up. Richard Loveridge back in this side this afternoon. He is pulling out, of course. And Michael Tuck not making the trip. Bounce down left half forward. 8 points Hawthorn's way. Dermot. Bit of body work there. Off to one side. Loveridge confronted by Blackwell that time. Falls to Di Domenico. He's in the tackle. Going nowhere. Well played by Gleeson. Gets it out to McKinnon. McKinnon drives it towards half forward for Carlton. They still control the ball well. Phillips gets it across to Gallagher. Not a good kick. Missed by Collins. Crashing into him was Johnston. Well played by Collins. Knocked on by Platten. Taken by Deer. Deer's hand pass intercepted there by McKinnon, who's doing well. And the good mark is taken by Collins, going back and showing some courage there. Collins in the back pocket towards centre half back. Mark is taken by Schwab. Elects the short pass. Pinpoints it well. And the mark in turn is taken by Tony Hall. Ball up towards the centre of the oval. Man unmarked on the outer side wing. Uses it well, finds Pritchard, plenty of space to operate in, touches it down once, again goes with a short pass and uses it brilliantly, and the mark is taken by Dunstall.
And those Carlton backs a little bit loose. We've seen Brereton get away from Hannah, Jamie Morrissey getting away from Michael Garvey, and on that time, Jason Dunstall getting away from Aitken. Now Dunstall 50 metres from goal, goes goalward. Ball swinging to left, pack fly, I think there's a mark and has been awarded. Paul Abbott, who took a number of good marks in the grand final, but on a very difficult angle. In fact, he's going to kick more or less from the same position as what Jamie Morrissey did, but he'll be hoping for a better result. Goalwood goes the ball. And another minor score registered by Hawthorn. That is their third. And Paul Abbott has registered his first of the game. Carlton made a switch to Rue now at full-back. Goes straight down the centre, looking for the big man. The ball falls to ground. Gallagher playing at centre-half forward, well up in that position. Does it well for a big man. And Carlton then set to take it down to their forward line to look for Kernahan, but the ball comes to ground. Johnson well over the ball. A real fighter, fights it out well. Running onto a Gallagher, a quick kick, but there's this man again, Collins, who has done some very good mopping up work in the forward pocket and sees the ball over the boundary line and to be thrown in Carlton's right forward pocket.
No pun intended, of course, Don.
Do the ruck work, Gallagher. With Gowers, Gallagher in front, a good tip out. Got a lot of potential, Gallagher. Quickly across to Brown, Buckenara onto it quickly, a hurried kick, Madden underneath. And well done by Morrissey to bring it to ground, but Carlton have the numbers there. They go Goldwood through Peter White. Only a youngster up through the under-19s in the forward pocket, and Collins is there again. Domenico running down well. Gets his quick despite Johnson's great tackle. Gowers, now they run the ball. They've got numbers. Hall looks for it and finds Buckenara in towards the centre on the cricket pitch. Running through the centre is Dixon. Now they'll go Goldwood, and they do through Dixon. Atkins in front, Dunstall behind. Abbott now centering it. The ball very hard to handle as the Carlton backman run onto it. Aitken. Hawthorn have got the numbers. Great tackle there by Carlton, but kicked off the ground, soccer style, back towards Hall. Now going Goldwood. And the ball will go off the hands of Burden and Hannah for Hawthorn's fourth minor score. 1-4. Hawthorn, Carlton yet to score.
It's going to be that sort of day. Not too many scores. As the crowd look on. The Rue kicks in. Up in front is Madden, waiting behind an opportunity for Platten. He's away. Kicks it back towards full forward. Has it got the carry? It bounces just the wrong way and goes through for a minor score. So Hawthorn dominating this game. They're 1-5 and Carlton yet to score. The outfield in superb condition. Pretty slippery there on the centre wicket area. And a Kubra. And yes, the Eagles represented. My word. Daru. Over the top, Platten. Ball runs free behind. Blackwell, head down, couldn't control it. Loveridge. Blackwell went down. Well played by Dia to Domenico. He pulls it back. It's high on centre wing, and Alvin does very well. Initially with use of the body on Morrissey, and then he took the mark, swings it out wide to accommodate Blackwell. Blackwell towards half forward. Madden, strong mark, one grab. Takes it at half forward. Down goes Domenico, hanging onto his left ear. Opportunity to even up the score, didn't. Johnston pulls it back towards centre half forward. It's dropped by Hall. Going in solidly, Herman. Well played. It falls to Kernahan. Kernahan from 40 metres out. It's a shocking kick. It's out of bounds on the full in the right full forward pocket. So far, his influence on this game, insignificant, Steve Kernahan. That would have been his first kick.
Didn't look confident on that occasion. Kernahan looked for the option, but there was no one running by.
Another chance. Dragged off at that time. Langford keeps it in play. Well, almost. Towards centre wing. Blackwell behind. Hurried kick. It came off the boot of Morrissey. Well, the umpire saying he'll throw it in. That was a line ball decision. Seemed to strike Morrissey on the shin and fly out of bounds. Doesn't matter much. I wonder what they make of it. I suppose a few of those would be Australians in the crowd, perhaps explaining it to their mates. Potted version of how the game is played. Slogging conditions out there at the present time. Platten goes down. Gleeson manages a kick. At half forward, Collins, the leaper from behind, interfered with the man in front, Johnston, and Wayne Johnston will get a free kick.
Should have gone for the punch, Andrew Collins. May have backed himself in. Not a good kick by Johnston off the side of the boot towards centre half forward, but playing in front, Ian Herman. And when you do play in front, you usually get the free kicks, especially on a wet day. And Herman did that, giving away the free kick. Was Darren Pritchard, the Hawthorn bench. Well, this should be Carlton's first score of the game. The high ball towards the square. And the ball will be rushed through off the hands of the pack. And Carlton have finally registered the score. And the ironical cheers from obviously a pro-Carlton crowd come forward
When you talk about the crowd too, Don, it's built up considerably now. It must be up around the 10,000 to 11,000 mark.
Phillips back at centre half forward. Now the high ball going back towards where the ball where it came. Kernahan over the top. Domenico. And going goalward, Peter White. He's done it. The young
way back into it. Hall over the ball. Grabbed immediately. So Hall's got a free kick. Goes out wide. It's taken by Buckenara. Buckenara goes towards half forward. And the mark is taken in defence by De Rui. So Steve De Rui is across the face of the ground. It's taken by Herman to Hannah. Hannah runs away from half-back and kicks towards centre wing. Nobody's there for Carlton. Domenico takes the mark to Schwab. Schwab stumbles as he kicks, and as a result, it went towards a Carlton player, and Hannah, he loses it. Brereton smothered by Aitken. It spills across towards Dixon. Dixon's hand pass goes across ground. Dunstall deep in the pocket. Hand passes back to accommodate Buckenara. He's upended. Does it brilliantly, though. Gives it to Abbott. Abbott pulls it back towards the kickoff line. Kennedy forward of the pack now. Kennedy's high kick floats across the ground. Leading in the race is Dunlop. Got an awkward bounce. Opportunity for Dixon. Dixon does well in the congestion there, trying to deflect it across to Kennedy. But Dunlop emerges with this ball. Sends it back towards centre wing. Gowers in front, and Gowers takes the mark.
Well, you can't help but admire this Hawthorn team. They're very, very professional in the way they're going about it. Now Brereton, and again, getting away from Hannah, has taken the easy chest mark, 50 metres from goal. Directly in front is Dermot Brereton, yet to score, but has started to get onto a couple and goes long with the drop punt, drifting to the left of the goals, and the ball to be thrown in off the hands of the pack. Left forward pocket. Hawthorn kicking to the Vauxhall end. To do this ruck work, Justin Madden. Paul Abbott. Over the back, Abbott. Onto it quickly, Aitken, and he soccers the ball out to a vacant wing, and leading in the race for the ball, McGuinness, and picks it up very, very well. Scott McGuinness centres the ball. Hall, the diving chest mark, can't take it. Picked up again by McGuinness. And Gleeson in over the top, and I think the umpire's got no, he's going to pay the free kick going Carlton's way. I thought he may have bounced the ball down on that occasion. Now coming back into the centre is Herman. Towards centre half forward, but Andrew Gowers playing behind Gallagher. It plays on quickly. Johnson over the top. Can't control the ball. Going back in over the top is Johnson. And the umpire, I think on this occasion, will throw the ball up. Shane Harris, the umpire. Peter Cameron in control. Ball quickly to ground, up towards Langford. Kernahan. Schwab goes safety first towards the goal. And Hawthorn playing safety first tactics. As soon as they get on their back line, they do hug the boundary line and endeavour to take it around.
So we've got a throw in here in front of the gasometer, Don. Shades of Arden Street.
Johnson. A high ball, and no, to left of the points for the goal. Another point. Wayne Johnson, the kicker on that occasion.
Here's Langford then to kick it in. Schwab leads. He ignores that. Wobbles a kick towards half-back. Gallagher goes up, uncontested, and takes the mark on his chest, the big fellow. Lays it off. Alvin well up the ground on the centre wicket area. Forced to kick across. A good sliding mark taken out there by Brown. Long kick down towards full forward. Fisted away by Deere towards the boundary line. Gathered by Platten. In fact, that last mark may have been taken by Garvey for Carlton. This is Hall. Hall goes across field, wide of Buckenara, couldn't hang on. Through the legs of the player waiting behind Garvey, who shows a lot of courage, and again deserving of a free kick. No reward there. Schwab, little toe poke across. Pritchard slaps it out wide. Taken there by Buckenara on his knees brilliantly to Loveridge to Kennedy. Kennedy towards the pocket, and the mark is taken by Dixon. So Dixon, too far out to score. Was that the siren or the hooter? I think it was. So quarter time at the Oval, and Hawthorn lead 1-5 to 1-2. It was a slogging affair here in that first term. Dix. As does Don's. What about that first term, Don?
Well, Hawthorn did control it, and just looking quickly at the stats, although stats can tell whatever you like, but Hawthorn had 65 kicks to Carlton's 47. Carlton started very well, but their backs played well, but then they went missing on occasions, and Brereton got away, as did Dunstall, Abbott and Morrissey. They've got to tighten up, Hawthorn, and the Carlton forwards naturally have got to lift and get into the game a bit more.
Start of the second quarter then. Away we go. Deere wins it down ineffectively. Carlton work it out of the middle as the kick comes towards half forward. Gallagher went nowhere with the ball. He's in there again. Kernahan over it, tries to knock it out to accommodate a teammate. Eventually gets the hand pass to Brown at close quarters. He goes down towards full forward, and it slides through for a minor score on what is the practice wicket area down there. The Vauxhall end. That's how it looks, with goalposts in front of them. There's nothing sacred. Peter Schwab to put the ball back into play. Now, it's great to see footy on a venue such as this. McGuinness comes over the top, fisting away, taken by Platten, tumbles as he kicks. Alvin, that was a good mark. It's not easy to take any sort of mark out there today, Don.
No, as the ball now on outer wing, and Carlton were, as we just heard from Dixon, not supposed to go out there, but they're getting trapped out there as Platten quickly picks up the ball.
There's Platten breaking away from half back. It would be easy for the players to get disorientated, I'm sure, out there because of the odd shape of this ground. We've seen a lot of the ball being squared. And they'll have a ball up out towards left half forward for the Hawks. 1-3 Carlton, 1-5 Hawthorn. Collingwood big winners in the earlier game today in Miami. I would imagine the conditions there a little different from the conditions here. There's the bounce. Hall, clean possession. Oh, ran into a dead end. That was a strong tackle applied by White. Front on, not easy to lay, and now he gets 50 metres. Well done. That's the sort of tackle that frustrates opposing players.
And the rain has stopped here, so let's hope the ground will dry out a little. I don't think it will. We've had incessant rain last night and also this morning, and it's only just cleared now.
Intriguing matchup this really, as White kicks towards half forward. Big leap down there by Kernahan for no mark. Emerging with the ball is Herman. He's claimed by Collins. Alvin. Sliding in there was Hall. You've got the side that won the premiership. End of season situation for them. How hard is it for Alan Joyce to motivate the Hawks? That remains to be seen. They're going in pretty hard this afternoon. And of course Carlton. A lot of young players in this side. Great opportunity for them. End of season to prove something. Phillips, the hurried kick down towards full forward. Kernahan jostling down there with Langford. It was a test of strength off the ground by Gleeson. Didn't go very far. This is Brown. Brown gets the hand pass across to support. In trouble out there, Garvey back towards Gleeson. Gleeson did well, but he's outnumbered 4-1. Back to Garvey, too high, surely, umpire. And Garvey will get the free kick. Well, Gleeson did remarkably well twice there, Don, outnumbered at one stage 4-1.
Yes, but at least Carlton have retained it. And that was great play you just mentioned by Gleeson, but also Garvey to run onto that ball. Gleeson tried to bring the ball back into the centre. He's deep in that left forward pocket. Now Michael Garvey, only a matter of 20 metres out, 45-degree angle. Good camera shot as Garvey shoots for goal.
It's missed.
Doesn't seem to be the scoring end, that left of end or the Vauxhall Street end.
The way things are going, where you get a goal is the scoring end at the moment, isn't it? Langford kicks in and the mark is taken by Kennedy. And that crowd has really thickened up, as you can see. Kennedy gets the ball to Hall. You'd have to love your footy or be very inquisitive to be here this afternoon. McGuinness over the ball on the outer side. Blackwell does well. Ferrets it across towards Herman. Clever hand pass back to Madden. Madden goes towards half forward with a kick. At the fall of the ball, Kernahan first to arrive, trying to spoil eventually. Off the ground by Brown. Controls it brilliantly. A la Gaelic football. From the boot up to the hand, it slides across the boundary line, as do the players, and will have a throw in the right full forward pocket for Carlton, who are looking better in this term. The breeze not a factor. One down decisively by Deer to Platten towards the outer side. Blackwell did well, knocking it forward. Madden took an eternity to pick it up. Took some treatment too from Kennedy, and there'll be a ball up. Deer and Madden having a good duel as they did in the second semi-final. Wayne Johnston, this side of that pack, hasn't been an influence so far. This is Hall, who's done well, as has Buckenara, who fell over. Socket off the ground there by Deer. Towards centre wing, and Brereton's going to get a free kick on.
Yes, well, the umpires, as I mentioned early in the first quarter, were paying the guy in front, and on that occasion, Brereton getting away from his man in Hannah.
McGuinness, beautiful pass, and Dunstall, one of the stars of the VFL, 16 votes in the Brownlow, equals second on the season, 132 goals. He's kicking from about 45 metres. Looks pretty good. It's sliding away to the left and through for a minor score. So quite a few new names in this Carlton defence, but they're doing very well on the big names of the Hawthorn attack on.
Yes, but Hawthorn are impressive when they get the ball, as we just saw on that occasion. Dunstall always leads confidently because he knows that the guys further up the ground are very apt at passing the ball and very skilled, and that's an unusual one. The umpire paying it to Kennedy on that occasion. Loveridge manhandling Kennedy before the ball was actually brought back into play by the full-back.
Yes, Kennedy wanted to run and give a lead, and he was held. Hannah tried to knock it away from Brereton unsuccessfully. Brereton, at the second attempt, takes the mark just outside 50. Sullivan comes onto the ground for Carlton. Condon on the ground for Hawthorn. A dual interchange there, one from either side, and here's Dermott. He'll kick from just outside the 50-metre line. Getting on top now at centre half forward. That's a mammoth kick. It looks pretty good. It's got the carry. It's a goal. Play restarts. Madden wins it down. Deer soccers off the ground. Down towards half forward. Hannah off the ground, 2 out wide. Towards the boundary line. And it slides out of bounds in front of the Foster scoreboard. And the Littler scoreboard at ground level. That shows Hawthorn 2-6, Carlton 1-4. Boundary throw in. Madden pitted against Deer. One down by the former. McKinnon. Rui appear to be pushed in the back, and he'll take the free kick. The umpires in these conditions doing a very, very good job. The umpires today, Cameron and Harris. Rui across the ground, didn't gain any distance at all. And the mark is taken by McGuinness. That was a strange kick from De Rui. Dunstall from the McGuinness kick goes towards the pocket. 2-on-1. Buckenara has the ball. Shepherded by Pritchard. Buckenara pulls it back across his body. Too far. And through it goes for a minor score.
There's an interesting setup there. Aiken, who was on Dunstall, set up the run from the full-back position. Dunstall didn't quite catch up. McGuinness took the mark. Dunstall being behind, found he was the loose man. Hence, Hawthorn moved forward through a mistake.
De Rui kicks in, and probably that previous kick of De Rui was influenced by the oval. I think that had a victory because he didn't gain any distance towards the Carlton goal at all and gave the ball away. This is Johnston on centre wing towards half forward for the Blues. Kernahan almost the mark. It falls to Gleeson. Here's trouble for the Hawks. Gleeson going goalward, slides one through.
What a magnificent piece of play by the Carlton side. The way they built that up, running the ball, laying it off from the centre wing. The ball, as it does, predictable going high to Kernahan. But what's this sidestep by Gleeson? I thought he could have gone right, but he decided to go left. He summed up the situation beautifully and also instantaneously. Well done, Adrian Gleeson.
Well, it's a far cry from the MCG. It has its magic. The Oval on a wet October afternoon. One down by Deer. Controlling the ball, Carlton, crashing his way through O'Sullivan towards half forward. Deflection there from Gowers. Sliding in was Kernahan. He's tackled by Collins. Knocks it out only as far as Schwab. Clever hand pass. Nicely measured. Got it across to Hall. Hall towards half forward. Morrissey. 2-on-1 for Carlton, but it mattered not. Morrissey took the mark. Pulls it back to Buckenara, possibly the best on the ground. Back it comes to Hall. Brereton, awkward half volley, did well. Knocked it across to Di Domenico. Back to Brereton. Man is on for the short one. He ignores that, goes long. That's close. Just off to the right-hand side. And one sense is now he's getting on top of Milhana.
Yes, Hannah starting to play behind, or he has halfway through the first quarter. He started very well. Brereton trying to use his body, wasn't prepared to run, and Hannah was chipping in just at the crucial moment, punching the ball away. But now Brereton is certainly attacking that ball.
Rui in from the gasometer end, finds Dunlop on the outer side. Sounds like he's bowling to Rui. Kicked it in. Short one comes across to McKinnon.
Ball to be brought in by Chris Langford. And a good battle between Langford and Kernahan at the full forward position. Langford forwards to centre. Brown up behind. And being Nick Garvey on that occasion. Free kick going back to Garvey. Garvey in the centre of the ground on the cricket pitches, rather slippery in that centre pitch area. Goes short, looking for Kernahan. Langford in front, punches the ball away. Johnson onto it quickly. Goes onto that trusty left foot. Dodges, goes goalward. And Carlton's third.
Play restarts and Madden wins it down. Taken there by Kennedy. They scramble it forward to Hawthorn. Alvin couldn't hang on. Loveridge sliding in there. He's claimed. Ball held to him and will have a ball up. Umpire Harris to bounce down across half forward for the Hawks. Now trail 2-8 to 3-5. Carlton doing very well. De Rui swings it out wide. Divya Domenico overruns it. McKinnon missed it off the ground. Divya Domenico did well, deflected it back towards Platten, showing a lot of desperation. Blackwell, brilliantly played, Wayne Blackwell. Gets it out to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan hooks it down towards half forward. Gallagher was up in front. It was knocked away. Gleeson cleverly. Herman. Well done by Garvey too. They're working hard. Down goes a Carlton player. He's going to get the free kick there. Crashing in. Herman. Kicking towards full forward. Kernahan battling with Langford. Off the ground by Pritchard. Wide towards the boundary line. It's still in play. He goes again with the soccer kick. Not much happening there. And the umpire, I'm sure, will come across and ball it up. Brown and Pritchard pick themselves up. But you've got to admire Carlton. These young players really having a dip on.
I'm just interested looking at the runner, the Carlton runner, Stephen Goff. Now, Stephen's, I suppose, flaunting the rules. He's taken a walkie-talkie out to the centre of the ground, so the message is being relayed to him in the centre of the ground.
Could go up in a puff of smoke today. He wants to be careful out there. Kick forward by McKinnon, down towards full forward. Welcome back to the Oval, where Carlton have skipped away to lead by 9 points now. 29 plays 20. Approaching half-time. Adrian Gleeson from a rather dubious free kick. Umpire Peter Cameron calling a throw on Robert Divya Domenico. Gleeson goaling from about 25 metres out as Dia gets it down to Schwab. Divya Domenico close to the boundary line, keeps it in play, and Platten pushes it across. So 4-5 to 2-8. Boundary throw in front of the outer stand. Madden, hand and head, got it backward of the pack. Garvey, hurried kick deep towards the pocket. A lot of courage shown by Schwab down there. Gallagher going nowhere. Brown fisting it forward. McKinnon really congested, but Carlton again working it brilliantly forward. Well done. The hand pass came across from Herman. Johnston could have almost got a free kick in there. It wasn't forthcoming. They still battle after the ball. And if Hawthorn came here this afternoon thinking it was going to be easy, just a jaunt at the end of the season, I think Carlton have shown them they've got something else on their mind.
Well, Carlton certainly have gone about it in the right way in this second quarter. There's no justice in football sometimes. Hawthorn really did control the game in that first quarter, but just did not capitalise where it matters most, and that is on the scoreboard.
Langford collides with Brown, and the ball spills out of bounds. Young Brown working very hard in his area in the last few minutes. And that crowd really has come along despite the conditions. Full credit to them. The organisers would, I'm sure, be gratified. It really has built up, hasn't it?
But I think you'd get used to the conditions over here, Dennis, if you were living here all the time.
Yeah, but to go out and see a game that you don't know much about in many cases, you'd have to be keen. Carlton, meantime, have it with Johnston. Johnston goes across the ground. Platten takes the mark. So Platten out of defence. Wide. And Pritchard marks just inside the boundary. Pritchard on centre wing. Condon is loose. That's the direction the kick takes. Condon just forward of centre wing, kicking towards half forward. Buckenara in best position to mark, almost a spectacular one-hander. Herman bounces off a couple of Hawthorn players, boots it back towards midfield, and the good mark is taken by young Gowers brilliantly. Away he comes, kicks it towards half forward. Awkward bounce there for Hall. Loveridge got it across towards Brereton. He goes to ground. Clever deflection came across from Abbott back to Loveridge. He pulls it down towards full forward. Dunstall leads back in the race. It's out of bounds. He's been well contained by Aitken. Of course, the conditions tailor-made for a defender, but in similar conditions, Aitken went back into Dunstall in the second semi and did a good job.
And also Gowers at the half-back line hasn't played football for a number of weeks and is showing fine touch.
Loveridge went to ground, off the ground by Morrissey, and it's a goal to the Hawks. So Carlton.
And Ian Herman going off.
It's not pretty, it's tough out there. Blackwell off the ground, avoids half forward. Gleeson, that was clever on the turn. He socketed it down towards the right full forward pocket. Kernahan, a great opportunity, wasn't pushed in the back according to the umpire. Langford to Schwab, in slides Brown, confronted by Collins. They're going in solidly. Langford sweeping hand pass, well done, sends Platten away. Platten hugs the boundary line on the outer side. What a good mark was taken by Hall.
Hawthorn have gone for a little bit of run. Deere has come off the ground, the ruckman, and coming on Ray Jenke into the forward pocket.
Great desperate lunge there from O'Sullivan, unsuccessful on the Hall kick. Brereton gets it across to Buckenara. Buckenara fancies himself from about 65 metres out. Vacant goal square. Slides through the wrong side of the major sticks down there and through for a minor.
Buckenara's got that amazing ability to get by himself, and he does pick up a lot of kicks, especially in the centre, and he's played very well this year as a roving centreman.
There's Kennedy kicking it in. 4-5 Carlton, 3-9 Hawthorn. This is Hannah behind the pack. Chances his arm, and as a result, paid the price. He was dragged down in the tackle by Brereton. It's built to Kennedy. Schwab does very well in a tight situation. Close to the boundary line, Brereton takes the mark on his chest. Too far out to score, Dermot Brereton. Kicks inside 50. Hawthorn have got 3 players running goalward. Pritchard beats Buckenara. A question of accuracy, and he's got it.
Interesting looking at the player in question, Millum Hannah. Very unfit Millum Hannah at the moment. He's showing maybe the layoff, and the runner is out there talking to him now, but Brereton got away from him on that occasion. The way he chased those couple of Hawthorn players, he just hasn't got the fitness at the moment to keep up. You will have to do something. You'll have to tighten up, and I don't know what you do in this situation if you're not quite fit enough. But obviously that couple of weeks layoff not paying dividends at the moment for Millum Hannah.
Hawthorn back in front. They lead by 4 points, so it's a changing scene the second term. Carlton doing very well in the early stages, and Hawthorn coming back towards half-time. Gleeson is getting a free kick and to a mark. Centre half forward. Adrian Gleeson will go for distance. Spirals one, offline. Through it goes for a point. 30 plays 33. The winner will play Collingwood for the Foster's Cup in Toronto.
Now the Hawthorn runner, George Stone, is also taking his walkie-talkie out into the centre of the ground.
Technology. Opportunity for Carlton. Sullivan did well. Got it to Blackwell, to Johnston. Johnston goes towards half forward. Socket away, though, by the Hawks. This is Pritchard. He's well shepherded out there. Brilliant shepherding from Morrissey. It comes to Gowers. Gowers booting towards half forward. Loveridge did well. Got it across to Jenke. Platten. Platten tried to knock it back towards Schwab. I think there's going to be a Hawthorn free. It's going the other way. Don't know why that was called. It'll be taken by White at centre half back. So White, who's kicked the goal, now finds himself in defence and boots it towards centre wing, reaching over the top. The big fellow, Gallagher, couldn't hang on. Platten battling with Garvey, and there'll be a ball up. Up towards centre wing. It's Garvey. Battle manfully on his wing. Carlton players really have put themselves in, including the youngsters. This is Kennedy. McKinnon, his kick didn't travel very far. Morris got the feed from Hall, boots it towards half forward. Hanna is up, fisting towards the boundary line. DeRuy, claimed there by Loveridge. It comes to Morrissey. Intelligent kick, a centering kick. Dunlop couldn't take the mark. Dunstall couldn't control it. Aitken came away, kicks towards midfield. Ball in the road. Dunstall on a lead. Look out, here's trouble for the Blues. Just wide of the mark, though, and it skids tantalisingly away from Dunstall and out of bounds. So we'll have a throw in about 50 metres out from goal.
Just see an indication of why you've got to keep your body behind the ball. The way that ball hit the turf and skidded quickly towards the goal. There's no other way but to get the body behind it.
Jenke misses. And the ball bounces out of bounds in the left full forward pocket. Just seconds remaining now in the second term. Up the oval. Entertaining game of football. There's the hooter for half-time. Hawthorn lead 4-9 to 4-6. And I suppose on play, that's a pretty fair situation at this stage, Don Scott.
Yes, well, as I thought, Hawthorn should have been a little bit further in front the first quarter. They did handle the ball a lot more. Maybe they're not used to the ground because it is an unusual shape, the oval, and something they're not used to playing on. It would be as long as what a Waverley ground would be, but the pockets, and especially the wing, the outer wing, as we see over near that Foster scoreboard, is rather wide, and you can attempt it. Well, you do get trapped out there. It's an actual corner. And the players, when they do happen to go wide, it does take a long time to bring the ball back into the centre. And the coaches realise that. And they've quarter time directed both sides to go down towards the centre. But it's very hard to always go down towards the centre. Football, an unpredictable game. You've got to get the opportunities where you can. And on occasions, you do happen to go wide, which both sides did in that quarter on occasions.
It's half-time at the Oval. And Hawthorn lead it 4-9 to Carlton's 4-6.